Welcome back inside Koskinen Stadium. Michelle Cooper standing over the ball for the Blue Devils, who will have possession to open things up as they look to move to 2-0 and sweep their first 2 games as part of this Carolina Nike Classic. Saw a lot of high pressure from Arkansas the other day. Looks like the Huskies employing a similar tactic to start this one at least. Mackenzie Weinert as Cosme looks to her left. Blue Devils typically very possession-oriented, but altered a bit of their style to handle the high-tempo nature of what the Razorbacks were presenting, and certainly to good effect, a 3-1 win.
In that matchup against Arkansas, I think it was the endurance that really stood out to me. Duke never tiring from the start to the very last second of that matchup. A lot of speed from the Blue Devils, not at all playing composed or reserved, but having no issue transitioning upfield, finishing off shots. We said in the open, 19 shots on frame in that matchup.
Some question as to whether Mackenzie Pluck was going to get a start in that game. She ended up starting, and we already talked about the influence she had on the outcome. Here she's on the ball, but the Huskies able to earn a goal kick here in the opening minute 10. Pluck only getting credit for the 1 goal that she scored on the penalty kick. Did not get an assist, but obviously for anybody watching the game, she earned the opportunity that Tess Bodie finished. So really manufactured a pair of goals in what ended up being a 2-goal win.
If I was going up against Mackenzie Pluck, you just put caution tape around her, especially when she gets inside the box. She's so fast, her feet are faster than you can catch up to, and then if you're misreading it or miscalculating it, 1 step forward or 1 step into the space or the line of Mackenzie Pluck, you could draw a penalty kick, another foul there. So just going up against Mackenzie Pluck with some caution in this matchup.
Ruby Hellstrom on the ball for the Huskies. Squares that one up in the direction of Weinert, who goes down, no whistle on the play as the ball rolls into the Duke bench area. As the throw-in comes in from Mary Johnston. Allison, your keys for the Huskies to have success here today?
Well, for Washington, controlling the midfield. This is an area of the game that head coach Nicole Van Dyke in her 2nd season really stressed as their strong suit. We control the midfield. It's extremely competitive. We're really deep in the midfield, and that's something that they want to keep numbers in the center and build up a field from there. So controlling the midfield, very important, but also putting some pieces together. Again, in that matchup against UNC, Coach Van Dyke saying, you know, we got exposed. We saw our weaknesses. We were putting together, you know, a couple good plays here and there, but putting more pieces together in transition. She said, you know, the back line would connect really well, but then we'll have a mistake in the midfield and then we'll connect up top. So just making sure that it's a complete game and starting to get more consistency in those pieces.
A little bit of a choppy start here. We've seen a couple of wayward passes from both sides as now your keys for the Blue Devils, certainly off to a good start here in 2021. How do they continue what they've started?
Well, when you think about Washington wanting to pack the midfield, that's where they have control. That's where they're comfortable. For Duke, it's the opposite then. Spread the field, work the flanks. They did that in the second half against Arkansas, found a lot of success with the speed down the sideline. So continue to spread the field and then also go to goal. A team that last year was struggling a little bit in their transition game and, you know, a very strong defensive-minded team, but working up top, getting confident in going to goal, so continuing to put up shots.
Groff giving chase as Riesling is the first to it for Washington. That one is sent across. Jones is there to touch it away. Bodie retreats to provide more defensive support. Now Delaney Graham, who went down with what looked at the time to be a relatively serious injury in the game against Arkansas, ended up coming back in that game, gets the start today. So good sign for Duke fans, for Delaney herself, friends and family, that she's out there, and if she's sore, she's not showing it. That one is played ahead to Michelle Cooper. Cooper one-on-one with the goaltender, sends that one across in the direction of Simmons. And then Sekeny is able to corral it in the end. Cooper has provided a target for the Blue Devils offensively. She brings quite a bit of talent, pace, and all-around game to Durham here in her freshman campaign.
Making a good decision, starting to cut inside, loses the angle that she has on it, finds her teammate or thinks that she can get some help up top. Just misread it a bit there with the defense on top.
Cooper was a little frustrated early on in the game against Arkansas. Couldn't take a couple of opportunities that maybe she would finish on most occasions, and then made up for it with a 25-yard bomb that tied the game at 1. Blue Devils would go on to win that game 3-1. Cooper, the 18th Blue Devil in program history to score in her first collegiate start. First since Ella Stevens did that back in 2016. Bodie earns possession for the Blue Devils. Here is Cooper once again, lifting it toward Mackenzie Pluck, trying to use that pace. Sekeny chases it down, not in time though, tried to save it from rolling out of bounds for a corner kick. Instead, it will be the first corner for the Blue Devils, who had quite a few of them the other day against Arkansas, 10 in total, 6 of them in the first half.
You're good there, Mears. You can step a little bit. Elena, tight.
Tess Bodie will tee it up for the Blue Devils. There's Nicole Van Dyke, second season with the program at Washington. You see her resume. Championship pedigree in a couple of different conferences and with a few different programs. That one headed back into a dangerous area, eventually cleared away by Summer Yates, the All-American, back defensively. Simmons getting the start today, came off the bench against Arkansas. Pluck plays that one out wide to Bodie. Tess Bodie surveys the landscape, and Sekeny grabs that one and holds it in bounds.
Just a bit sharp of an angle there to get the cross off. Good coverage though by Sekeny.
Sekeny was outstanding last year, set the program record for goals against average. That broke Hope Solo's record, longtime national team goalkeeper. Record stood since 2001. Sekeny, the transfer from Cal, really solidified her role with this team last season.
She's also an athlete that Coach Nicole Van Dyke, head coach for Washington, stated just reads the game really well. She communicates well with her back line, but her ability to read the game and to adjust on the fly is what makes her so special.
That one bounds into the stands. It'll be a throw-in for the Blue Devils. Head coach Robbie Church looking on. 257 wins now at Duke, including the victory against Arkansas. A trio of College Cup appearances, 2-time ACC Coach of the Year. Looks like we'll have a potential substitution. Emily Royson getting looked at by the Duke training staff. Looks like there may be a cut of some kind. Bailey Brewster comes on, freshman out of Atlanta, Georgia. Saw some playing time against the Razorbacks. She came on for Delaney Graham when she went off with her injury.
Brewster, a top-ranked defender, coming into her collegiate career, ranked 8th best in the nation by Top Tour Soccer.
Bodie looks to get it on the left foot, tried to bend it far post. Couldn't quite get the angle though, as the pressure continues from the Blue Devils here in the early going. 0-0 to score. Bodie, the 40th overall pick by New York, New Jersey Gotham FC. Decided to come back, compete one more year in Durham. Sekeny tees this one up, just barely clears the head of Pluck. Pluck may have been fouled in the process, so set piece opportunity for the Blue Devils off the goal kick.
Chance here for Duke to see what they can draw up and how they can execute. Set pieces become just more and more important the longer the season goes on, and when you get into postseason, the decision of a game can come down to just one set piece.
Simmons finds Brewster. Cooper makes herself a target, looking for Graham. Delaney Graham, several steps behind the defender and eventually wins possession. Looking to play it to Pluck. Chipped in that direction, headed away by Jessica Coward. Here's Cooper, top of the box. She scored from distance the other day. That one may have been on frame. Sekeny taking no chances, able to corral that one. Sharp again early. I thought both goalies, both losing goalkeepers the other day, were fantastic. You wouldn't have thought it from the box score, but they both played really, really well.
Not even quite sure how Cooper got a touch on that ball. A little wild at her feet, but still able to create some type of chance in that last play.
Hannah Warner made 7 saves for Arkansas. That 3-1 Duke win could have easily been 5 or 6. We already talked about how Sekeny, how good she was against the Tar Heels. Here's Delaney Graham in back of the defensive line.
Flag up on the sideline.
Offside is Graham making that run. Graham can run for days, has played a number of different positions. Scored a couple of goals last year. The year she spent quite a bit of time up front for Duke. Loves to get up field from that defensive position that she plays, as Royson looks as though she will check back in here momentarily.
When you have an athlete like Delaney Graham, who is so fit and she's so fast, she elevates her teammates around her, and you can see that fast, fit mentality is something that the Blue Devils have been embodying this season so far. Looking like they didn't tire out at all against Arkansas.
Throwing for the Huskies on the far side. Teams seem to be playing at a higher level earlier this year, and I wonder if it has to do with the fact that so many players are back, taking advantage of that extra year afforded them. One of the few silver linings of the COVID-19 pandemic. A lot of returning experience for a lot of different programs.
And just from the 3 head coaches that we've already gotten to speak with on the phone to start this 2021 year, they all talk about maturity and about how their teams are coming together quick. They're feeling good about their teams, but that they know every other team's feeling the same way, so you have to watch out.
That one bounced a couple of times in the 18-yard box. It'll be a throw-in for Washington. Ruby Hellstrom will take it.
Nice big throw.
Simmons the first one there. Pluck onto it for the Blue Devils, immediately up to Cooper. Cooper fights through one defender. Johnston was there to block it away. Given right back to Duke, though, as Bodie possesses middle of the field.
Nice switch of the field. Started to get a bit crowded here on the near side.
Cooper fights off a defender and then finds Brewster. Pluck was so good at getting downhill the other day. Looking to do so again here, beating a couple of defenders into the box one more time. Graham serves it across with the left foot. Looking for Olivia Migley. That one rolls out of play as Royson returns.
That was a nice slow and steady build upfield by Duke, maintaining possession, maintaining confidence, just starting to slowly connect upfield, not rushed. And this ball by Graham on target, just defense in good positioning for Washington.
Claudia Longo standing at the scorer's table, ready to check in as Sekeny sends that one toward the midfield stripe. Cosme. Impressive field here for the Carolina Nike Classic. All 4 teams participating in the top 20, Duke, North Carolina, Washington, and Arkansas. These 2 teams played on Thursday night. Again here today. Huskies don't actually start the academic portion of their schooling. Their classes don't start for about another month or so, so this is a good time of year to fly across the country, get a couple of really good opponents under their belt, learn a lot about themselves, and prepare for the rest of the season.
The head coach's dream, just to only focus on the game. You don't have all the academic distractions that sometimes come with the start of a brand new school year. But Washington, a school that works on the quarter system.
Bodie runs through it, beats a pair of purple shirts to the ball, and now lays it back off to Sophie Jones, who's already put quite a resume together. Hussein does well there for Washington. And now something dangerous here for the Huskies. Trying to get it back to the left foot was Riesling. That one's blocked away. And now back the other way comes Duke. Mentioned Hussein a moment ago, really developed into a high caliber player. Had not been an all-conference performer until last year when she was first teamed. Just a testament to the work that she put in and the work that the staff, this relatively new staff for Washington, put in with her.
Head coach Van Dyke calling her an unsung hero, someone that has impressed everyone in her efforts and how much she has improved since her freshman campaign. Also got 4 shots off against UNC in their first matchup just days ago.
Kyla Ferry, Claudia Longo on for the Huskies. Ferry on the ball momentarily until Simmons comes away with it. Ferry, the transfer from Colorado. Played well against the Tar Heels the other day, according to Coach Van Dyke. Ruff looking to go over the top to Pluck. Well defended that time by Johnston. Formerly a forward, now playing in the back line. Coach Van Dyke said she often defends the opposing team's best players. Tells you what the staff thinks of Pluck. Royson near side, looking for some help. Jones playing more of a holding midfield spot this year to get her on the ball as part of the build for the Blue Devils. There she is again.
Right now it feels like just both teams trying to kind of sort one another out, playing a bit reserved, trying to find out where the gaps are, where the weak spots are in their opponent and how they can exploit that.
McDaniel bothered by Cooper, and it's turned over. Blue Devils an opportunity here. Didn't quite get that first pass correct, though. Johnston temporarily halting progress. Went off the shoulder or upper arm area of Bodie. Jones onto it for Duke.
Right now, a lot of the centering passes from Duke are being intercepted or stepped to first by Washington, getting that first ball touch. Again, Duke just, it feels like they're just trying to like push and pull. Where can they get through?
Another hot and humid day here in central North Carolina. High noon kick. Bodie advances it for Duke and finds Graham streaking down that right flank. Cooper is there. Graham goes to Cooper, who heads it over the bar. Cooper had a similar opportunity the other day against Arkansas. Couldn't quite get the angle of the header correct, but got a feeling that that connection is going to be one we see quite a bit this season.
A strong connection, just not quite on top of it here. Pressure on the back.
There you see that stat we mentioned a moment ago. Cooper has already had a significant impact in her first game plus as a Blue Devil. Coach Robbie Church thinks she can be one of the very special ones to come through this program. Royson into some space now. Finding Pluck, middle of the field.
Yeah, Duke just having more success when they're working the flanks here up in transition.
You see Jones directing traffic there, asking for the switch of field. Cosme comes back to Bodie here, near side. Give and go between Bodie and Graham. Bodie lays it off to Cooper. One touch, blocked away, and it'll roll over for a corner kick. Good defending there for Johnston, but the Huskies' job not done, as Bodie will walk over to the corner flag.
A lot of credit right now to the Washington defense, though. They're in those help positions. They're cutting off angles to the goal, and they're where they need to be to stop certain plays from happening. They're doing a really good job at their overall body awareness defensively.
Summer, your zone. Summer, front zone. Summer, front zone. Front zone. So Mark. Go with her. Over.
Nice punch out that time by Sekini. So far, so good for the Washington goalkeeper. She'll put it back in play. 0-0 score. Just about 22 minutes into half number 1. Here on day 2 of the Carolina Nike Classic on ACC Network Extra. Groff with the throw in, and then that one is out of play. Looks like we'll have our mandatory water break. 22:40 on the clock. Chance for the student athletes to hydrate here. 0-0. Day 2 of the Carolina Nike Classic. Huskies and Blue Devils. More on the other side of the break here on ACC Network Extra. Five Atlantic Coast Conference teams in the top 25, all of them in the top 7. Incredible talent in the ACC. Seminoles, Tar Heels, Cavaliers, Blue Devils, and Tigers. Every year, Alice, in the ACC, one of the best women's soccer conferences, if not the best. It's incredible.
Competing against the best of the best, which just elevates the ACC. And when you throw in opponents such as Arkansas, Washington early in the season, you're preparing yourself for the conference games, the challenging conference games that lie ahead.
So 22 minutes, 40 seconds to go in the first half. We'll have a mandatory water break in the second half as well, and well-deserved. Don't know the exact wet bulb temperature that it has to be to bring on one of those timeouts, but just walking in the booth today, it's there.
Yeah, anything above or right at 86 degrees, you're going to get that hydration break, which was added just a few years back to the NCAA Collegiate Soccer World, and that's between the 25th and 30th minute, and then 70th and 75th minute of the matchup. And of course, for the head coaches, acts as a little timeout, a time
Absolutely.
to regroup.
Not used to that, having that opportunity in this sport, so
Exactly.
Great chance to reset, maybe make some formation changes that would otherwise normally have to be communicated as the game is going on, but Migley fighting for possession and maintaining it on the far sideline.
Speaking about adjusting on the fly throughout a matchup, something that the Washington team did in their game against UNC, and that head coach Nicole Van Dyke spoke to us about their ability to adjust, and that this team is just so hungry to put what they practice into play, and to be able to see her athletes adjust to certain situations against UNC, and in real time you're learning and you're developing. That was something she really liked to see.
Sane sends that one toward Ruthie Jones after the turnover. Best opportunity thus far for the Huskies, but Jones handled it with relative ease.
This is where Duke can be dangerous. Speed down the side.
Pluck. Offside flag up. More substitutes ready to come on for the Blue Devils, who've made just the one change thus far, and that was Brewster coming on for the injured Royson. Huskies have made 3 subs.
So that was his second offsides against Duke, which it's not necessarily anything that the forwards are doing wrong or that Duke's doing wrong, but there's again the Washington defense with their positioning and their awareness in the back line, stepping forward collectively to cause the offside. Just really good communication there for the Huskies.
Longo looking for Margot Clark. Instead, Duke builds once again out of the back. This looks a little bit more like what you typically see from Duke that we didn't see as much of on Thursday night.
Exactly what we expected to see against Arkansas. But Arkansas, a team that throws the ball upfield as fast as possible, really quick in transition. They want to get goals as fast as they can, and Duke adjusted really nicely against the Razorbacks.
Hard work there by Longo. First against Jones and then Royson. It was a hard challenge into Royson, who is hobbling as she gets up. Migley slides into that one. Huskies in essence playing a person up at this point. Ferry lays that one off, then gets it back inside the 18-yard box, laid off once again to Clark, who sends it wide, and Royson goes back down to the pitch. And she'll get looked at by the training staff. On comes Maggie Graham and Grace Watkins. They'll replace Sydney Simmons.
Carla, I didn't see her down. I didn't see her down.
And Sophie Jones. Brewster to return, it looks like, again as well. 19:27 on the clock. A couple of loose touches just outside their own 18-yard box here in the recent going for Duke by Simmons and Jones. They're holding midfielders, perhaps a chance for them to come off and take a deep breath.
You're also battling the fatigue that you feel early on in a season, coming from playing a ton of minutes on Thursday to regroup and get ready here for Sunday. Battling that fatigue and trying to keep your energy up,
Carla Overbeck out there to check on Royson as well. Overbeck, one of the absolute legends of the game. Good to see Emily Royson on her feet. A little bit of a limp, but not needing any help to walk off the field. And even a bit of a smile as she returns to the sidelines.
And some nice shade settles over the field.
Yeah, cloud moves in front of the sun. That's got to help things a little bit. Mary Kate McGuire warming up for the Blue Devils. Here's Brewster on the ball. Arkansas and Washington, 2 of the 7 teams Duke will play this year in the preseason top 25. Loaded schedule. Graham working against Ferry. Bodie to support. Now
Good.
Pluck lines that up.
Don't settle! Don't settle!
Kayla, Ola, if you're gonna step back, you gotta pull Ola back in.
Here comes McGuire.
She'll
Replace Mackenzie Pluck, yep. 24 comes off.
McGuire leading the team last year with 6 total assists. Also knows how to get the job done, though. 3 goals.
Oh, that's my bad, guys. That's my bad.
Watkins looking to play it ahead to Cooper. Huskies haven't really built a whole lot. Their opportunities have come off of creating turnovers for the most part. Duke has had quite a bit of possession of the ball as this one off the head of Ferry out of bounds.
Disrupting passes in the midfield. A lot of what Washington has been doing.
Laid off by Cooper. Graham is there. Watkins closed down by a couple of defenders. Sane tried to get a little fancy. Brewster broke that up. Ferry does well to dodge Bodie.
Come on, Duke! Don't turn! Don't foul! Don't foul! Don't foul! Here we go! Come on, go, Mary Kate! Go! Let's go! Let's go!
Good pressure from Duke here, not allowing Washington to escape its own defensive third easily.
Good, good, let's go!
Watkins cuts it back and looks for support. Finds it with Katie Groff.
Good spacing here for Duke. Starting to find the openings.
There's Watkins. Nice job by Kravitz just to slow things down a bit. It was really 2-on-1. Duke had the numbers, the overload on that side. McGuire couldn't quite corral it. Sane plays it over the top. No purple jerseys there, but at least a chance
To breathe.
Yeah, to clear that defensive line and take a couple of breaths. .16-10 to play in the first half. On comes Katie O'Kane. Looks like Hussein might be limping a bit as she works her way to the sidelines. Nikki Chico, Lily Nabet also getting set to come on for the Blue Devils, who've now we're starting to see a lot of substitutes here. Final 16 minutes or so on a hot, humid day.
Well, when you're sitting at zeros across the scoreboard. It's a good chance to get in some fresh legs. Both programs saying that they're deeper than they were the year before. Head coach Nicole Van Dyke for Washington saying, you know, we're focusing on what we can do. We're trying to get more athletes involved in the game since we are deeper than last year. We're looking to build. She talked about the competitiveness in practice to earn a starting spot in her midfield group. And then on the other side for Duke, I mean, this is a team that you can go layers into the bench and you're going to keep the same quality.
Yates, one of the few times she's been on the ball in this game. Playing it out wide. Now the Huskies will have a throw. It'll be taken by Tasha Kravitz, the redshirt junior. Jones off of her line easily. Better here from Washington on that possession. O'Kane looking to close down Brewster. Bodie lays it off to Groff. On the ground toward McGuire. Nicely weighted pass there. The cut back to Cooper possibly. Instead, the cross in the direction of Graham. Longo is there to clear it away. Brewster giving chase. Really nice initial service there that McGuire was able to run onto. Chico comes in, as does Nabet. Off comes Migley and Bodie.
Come on, come on.
Another possession won by stepping in front of the ball and getting to it first for Washington.
Second time Yates has looked in that direction on the far side toward Riesling. Groff heads it away.
Ball sent right back in.
And now it's the Blue Devils forced to just clear it away, though. Watkins there. "13 minutes left in the first half. 8 total shots, 5 for Duke, 3 for Washington. A foul called. Only the 3rd foul in the first half here. Stark contrast to what we saw on Thursday, a game that had
5 yellow cards total, I believe.
Yes, I think at least 5.
4 for Arkansas, 1 for Duke.
That was a very physical game. Chipped in by McDaniel. Cooper still looking like she has fresh legs, chasing that one down.
Cooper, not a forward who's just going to wait up top for the ball to come to her, but she is going to cross the line, come back and help in regaining possession.
Caught up in the feet of Chico a bit. Good battle there, far side between she and Riesling. Battle continues, ball still in bounds, and eventually the foul is called.
Good box out to get possession here.
Nabet the first to it. But it's Washington who possesses. Johnston with Cooper closing down once again. We've seen a lot of slumped shoulders and seemingly heavy legs here in the first half, and Shell Cooper certainly not looking as though she's been bothered by this first 35 minutes.
Doing a little bit of everything.
Off comes Yates. Gives way to Vanessa Millsaps. Another foul. A few whistles here recently for Duke. A set piece chance, probably the best one thus far for the Huskies.
Good position here.
McDaniel, the transfer from UC Irvine, will tee it up.
Huskies getting set for the run-in, expecting a high bending ball towards the net. The right foot.
Settled down nicely for Riesling, who teed up the volley, but just couldn't quite get the mechanics that time. Two Blue Devils went for the header, and it left Riesling open. 9:37 and counting here in half number one. Quick restart for Duke as Cosme plays it over to Brewster. And another whistle.
Not quite as good of a position as the Huskies just had, but still not bad right here.
Very different feel to this first half than the one you and I called on Thursday. It's McDaniel standing over it once again. Very dangerous still. Jones gets a hand on it to keep it 0-0. The Huskies knocking on the door here in half number one.
Ball sent inside. Nice settle before rushing to get a touch. Not enough behind it though. You see her ball bouncing and then the push out by Jones.
Vanderjagt, third team all Pac-12, doing whatever she could to get her body to the ball. Jones punches that one away.
Ball still in play.
Riesling able to turn the corner. Graham is there to one-touch it to Mary Kate McGuire. And the foul is given by the Huskies. Chance for the Blue Devils to breathe. It's been the Huskies on the front foot here in the last few minutes. 7.5 to play in the first half. Ruthie Jones' turn to make a good save to keep her team even. Both goalies have shown out here in the first half.
Katie, go with her, she checks.
McGuire into the 18-yard box, looking for some help. Good support there from Katie O'Kane as Cooper was looking to line it up. Good response from Duke.
Good coverage defensively for Washington, stepping to the ball. Not giving a ton of space for Duke to work with in their attacking end.
Keeping it in play was Clark, forcing Jones to retrieve. Brewster, who's come on a couple of different times here in the first half.
Good facilitator has had a lot of nice crisp and clean passes, either up the right side or looking for the switch.
Speaking of the switch, Brewster now. Maggie Graham. Graham with an assist on the Cooper goal the other day. Lefty service from Groff looking for Delaney Graham. Back in that direction once again, instead stepped into nicely by Ferry. I feel like it's been a nice job by the Huskies, sort of weathered that initial storm. Duke creating a lot of opportunities, and they've just sort of chipped away, created some chances of their own here in the last 10 minutes or so.
Have been playing with some patience. Again, it kind of just felt like, especially the first 20, 30 minutes of this match, that each team just trying to feel each other out, not really going outside of their comfort zone or forcing the ball or, you know, just trying to read the opposing team and then adjust and learn on the fly, which as soon as Washington began to get more comfortable out there, we've seen more progressions upfield, more connected passes, and that's, you know, a focus for them in this matchup as well as the rest of the season, is just to do better with the ball.
Nice individual effort that time by Michelle Cooper, taking on and beating a couple of defenders, drawing the foul. 4:30 left in the first half. Set piece chance for the Blue Devils about 25 yards out.
So fancy with her footwork. Ball stays so close to her feet, drawing the foul, and Duke in good position.
O'Kane committing the foul. Groff and Cosme standing over it for the Blue Devils. 3 in the wall for the Huskies with McGuire. Referee says we'll do it again. I think McGuire may have been on the receiving end of that one.
Ball right in to the meat of the wall over there. But again, we'll get a redo.
Wonder if Duke will try something different here. Another added to the wall for Washington. Second, he lines things up. Blue Devils taking their time. Cosme. That one more elevated than the first.
Maybe overcompensating a bit for the first kick.
Cameron Price checks in as Margot Clark comes to the bench.
Substitution for University of Washington, number 25, Cameron Price, entering the game, replacing number 22, Margot Clark.
Chico was there, but it glances off her to Riesling.
No, I want you guys wide. I just
Not have to play in half number 1.
Yeah, not a ton of momentum going in either direction right now.
No, this game played to much more of a stalemate. Quite a bit more in the middle third of the field than what we saw on Thursday, which was
back and forth, end to end.
5 games worth of chances packed into one. Both teams also with the benefit of seeing game tape of the other. That wasn't really the case going into the season openers for both teams.
drop off. Drop, Taylor, drop. Good, Taylor. Force her wide.
Cooper toward McGuire. Cooper wins it back. Michelle Cooper, top of the 18, fires that one off frame. Cooper, legs still looking fresh here with 80 seconds to go in the first half. She is playing on a field with quite a few substitutes and seems to be the freshest athlete out there right now.
just a bit rushed in this release. The ball comes back to her. She wasn't expecting it, so tries to counter real quick. Maybe just waited half a second longer, didn't have a ton of pressure in front of her, but the mindset is there, and that's what you want to see.
12 of the initial 22 have been subbed off at this point. McGuire works with Kravitz on her back, able to turn, sends that one in the direction of Watkins. Well played by Longo. Nabet out wide now to Chico.
Enough time for at least one more attack here for the Blue Devils.
McGuire back out to Chico. Offside flag is up, and that may just about do it for half number one.
Again, it's that Washington defensive line stepping up, causing the offside. Now up to, I believe, 3 against Duke.
12 shots, but only 3 of them on goal, 2 belonging to the Washington Huskies. Both goalies have made good saves in this first half. Olivia Sekeny and Ruthie Jones have been sharp in game number 2 of the season. Top 20 matchup, ACC and Pac-12. Game 2 and day 2 for both of these teams for the Carolina Nike Classic. Plenty more to come. Halftime here at Koskinen Stadium on ACC Network Extra. Looking for 2 top 20 wins right out of the gate.
Yeah, you talk about quality wins. That's what Robbie Church, head coach for Duke, calls the wins, especially in this Carolina Nike Classic. You're going up against some of the best teams. Naturally, you're going to be thinking a little bit further ahead about how this win can affect the rest of your season when you go into conference play and then when you hopefully make it into the tournament.
Good to see Emily Royson back out there for the Blue Devils. She went off on 2 different occasions in the first half. The first one looked to be like some kind of cut that she had to have.
Anything blood related, though, immediately you have to exit the field.
Second one, though, after a hard challenge, may have been a lower extremity injury, but back out there now. Bailey Brewster came on both occasions, filling that role capably as Delaney Graham plays it all the way back to Ruthie Jones. Good job working her way around. Cooper was McDaniel that time, but Cooper on the ball for the Blue Devils. Here is Pluck. Tried to lay it off to Cooper.
That was a long run for Cooper to try to make.
She certainly seems up for it. Bodie gives the foul on Summer Yates. Yates, the first All-American in Washington's program since 2004.
Looking for Yates to also get a bit more involved here in the second half. An athlete who is really gifted with the ball at her feet and, according to her head coach, can just score from anywhere. Haven't seen a ton of opportunities coming from Yates.
Involved there at the top of the 18-yard box. Jones comes away with it, though. And this is what Pluck did so much of against Arkansas. Just get downhill, plays it to herself, using her speed, beating both Riesling and Kravitz. 1-on-2 she goes, still with possession.
And not just speed, dazzling footwork.
Well done in the end by Kravitz to shield her off the ball and earn the goal kick, but that was the Mackenzie Pluck of Thursday night. Difference there, though, the Huskies were able to prevent her from carrying possession into the 18-yard box, where she was able to make things happen and earn a pair of penalties within 2 minutes of each other.
And you know she was at the top of the scouting report. Watch out for Pluck down the sideline. She's fast, don't get tangled up in her cleats.
Johnston carries it forward. Graham is there to cut it off. Simmons back out there to start the second half. She was subbed off in the first. Groff lost it momentarily in her feet and then is forced to hold up play. That may be our first yellow card. Yeah, I think it's going to be a booking. Just the intentional grab from Katie Groff, who found herself in a bad situation there, giving the ball away. Just got it lost in her feet.
Trying to get in front, arm wrapped around the hip.
Nice job by Clark. Really played well against North Carolina, according to Coach Van Dyke the other day.
The yellow card has been called on number 21. For Duke,
Injured her freshman year.
Katie Groff.
Got back in rhythm a year ago. Jones, mostly white shirts there. Relatively easy save for her. Quick throw in the direction of Tess Bodie. Here comes Delaney Graham, shot out of a cannon.
And the speed from Cooper down the center.
Once again, though, Washington disrupts the breakout. It's Johnston. Coach Van Dyke calls her a workhorse. She's been the one to step into so many of those passing lanes today.
She was an outside forward, turned outside back, Johnston. An athlete who told Coach Van Dyke, just put me where you need me. Very optimistic and willing to assume any position that the team needs her for.
Yates is fouled.
Hey, it's gotta be clear away. Caitlin, top of the reflex too.
She had the ball, it's still there.
One more, Kate, one more.
Hey!
Kate, back ball.
Who will have that breakthrough moment here in half number 2? Will it come off of a set piece? Flicked on. Yates is there. Top of the 6-yard box, blocked away. Groff able to elevate it in the direction of Pluck. Very dangerous. Desperate defending for the Blue Devils. Pluck now 1-on-5. Cooper joining the fray. There's the speed of the freshman number 18. Pluck looked to lay it off in her direction. Cooper made about a 70-yard sprint there. Final ball just hasn't been there for the Blue Devils yet. Simmons able to gain control.
Hey, Rev, we're just into it. Hey, they're just into it. It's okay. Hey, we're just dialed in, Rev.
Opening 5 minutes here of half number 2.
A bit more eventful so far, though, than the first 45 minutes.
Cosme.
More urgency.
Yates providing some pressure there. Here's Jones. Pluck making herself a target. Cooper looking to make the run in behind. Delaney
Gorgeous
Graham
ball.
far side, all alone. Cooper. A couple of defenders trailing her, now looking in the direction of Graham, who tried to lay it off to Bodie. Instead, Hellstrom steps in. Bodie wants to keep this play going. Could have waited for the throw-in, instead elects to chase it down. Bigley out wide. Bigley tees it up, looking to play it inside to Graham.
Centering passes just getting intercepted by the Washington defense.
Margot Clark has done a nice job defensively as that first line of defense for the Huskies. It's an unforgiving job on a day like this. It's a lot of running. As a forward, that's not the most fun thing in the world. Typically, You're looking to score goals, not retake possession, but she's done pretty well up there to bother Duke defensively. Pluck laying it off to Cooper. McDaniel misplayed the angle there a bit. Cooper with Bodie to her right. Michelle Cooper makes it 1-0 Duke. Calm finish for the freshman who has scored in her first 2 collegiate games. And the Blue Devils lead 1-0 here at Koskinen Stadium.
Give credit, though, to Pluck for the gorgeous through ball to connect with Cooper, but Cooper, just another day in the park for her, walking it right inside until she finds her chance and releases.
Cool as you like, just calmly slots that one in past Sekeny, and the Blue Devils now can breathe a little bit easier. Goals in back-to-back games. Cooper arrived. Highly touted, Coach Robbie Church unafraid to put her in that category among the best players in the ACC already, and she is proving it against a pair of top 20 teams. Scored the opening goal in both games for Duke. The first to tie it up against Arkansas after Duke was trailing 1-0. This time to give Duke the 1-0 lead, and Cooper looking for more perhaps. Tried to lay it off to Bodie that time. It'll be a corner kick for Duke as 18 continues to put her thumbprint on this game.
Again, another good ball, though, coming off the foot of Pluck to set Cooper up for that opportunity. So an impact player just helping facilitate right now. Mackenzie Pluck still one to watch here.
Something about these starts to the second halves for Mackenzie Pluck. Creates the 2 PKs the other day, gets the assist on the goal to Cooper here today. Bodie lifts that one in toward the penalty spot. Cosme is there, as she so often is. 6 goals for Cosme a year ago, many of them on set-piece opportunities. Led the ACC in goals by defensemen.
Cosme also the vocal and the emotional leader of the team, according to head coach Robbie Church.
This becomes a very tall task for the Huskies now. We talked about the elements. And now a Duke team that might be playing a little more freely. Here is Cooper once again. With the back heel, looking for Bodie. Jones is fouled by Yates. Driven toward Bodie, but played away by Vander Yacht. On the ground toward Pluck. Mackenzie Pluck tees that one up. Sekeny may have gotten a piece. And she did. It'll be a corner kick for Duke. Don't know if that one was going to be on frame, but no need to take the chance.
From well beyond here, the 16 chips it up.
Oh, that was on frame. Absolutely. Great look by our crew there. Perfect look. Kudos to all of our folks putting the broadcast together Thursday and today. Folks running camera out here in the heat and humidity. Short corner is given away. Coach Robbie Church won't be thrilled with the execution there. Pluck and Bodie perhaps on different pages.
Miscommunication error.
Easier to take up 1-0. Tic-tac-toe for the Blue Devils. It's in the direction of Simmons. Skips under her foot, though. She'll have time to chase it down. Cooper once again. Very different looking Duke team here in the second half. Graham looks to cut it back toward Pluck. Kenzie Pluck does get a foot on it eventually. And then it's back to Pluck. They've just gotten up off the ground. Diving save made by Sekeny, as that one was destined for the foot of Tess Bodie.
Quick reflexes for Sekeny.
She has been busy here in the second half.
Pluck here, just on the line against Sekeny. Zeroed in on the ball.
Pluck a magnet right now. She was actually lying on the ground. That ball just rolled right back to her. Here come the Huskies, though, looking for the answer. Graham is down inside the 18-yard box, rolls over on the ball. No call there. Very close to conceding a penalty. Cooper sandwiched by a pair of purple jerseys. And it'll belong to Washington.
Bit surprised by that call.
I wonder,
so is Cooper.
Yeah, I wonder if that was a little bit of a makeup scenario maybe for what had just transpired seconds earlier. Let's take a look at Delaney Graham here. She gets beaten on the play and rolls over. That's absolutely her forearm, elbow, hand on the ball. And then the call moments later was a bit puzzling toward the Huskies. You can't help but think maybe the referee feels like he might have missed that one, and if you're the Huskies, you're saying, hey, thanks for the call near midfield, but let's take the penalty next time.
Yeah.
Inadvertence, certainly it would have been for Graham, but she rolled over onto the ball nevertheless. 1-0 as it stands now, a substitution for the Huskies. On comes Weinert. Off goes Hellstrom. That was nearly the opportunity the Huskies needed. Get the sense it's going to have to be something like that. Sort of an opportunity that arises from a turnover, something quick on the counter. They haven't really built much throughout the game. 31 minutes to go here in half number 2.
Washington's still sitting at just 6 shots in this matchup, a team that last season averaged over 15. It's not able to create as many opportunities in their transition upfield to this point.
It's good work again by Clark. Duke will possess, and then Clark takes it back, at least for the moment. 22 has put in a lot of time up front today. There she is one more time.
Duke with some time to build, but the pressure starting to creep upfield by Washington.
Migley. Pluck looking for Bodie. Instead cleared away by McDaniel. Royson. Blue Devils would love an insurance goal here. Migley charges into some open space. Has Graham and finds her. Delaney Graham, far side. Heavy first touch, cut off nicely by a pair of Husky defenders. Sophie Jones there, though. Simmons plays Graham. A throw in for Duke on the far side. Cooper works with her back to goal. Pluck in the box. And then Pluck gives the foul.
A lot of pressure surrounding Pluck now. Seems like every time she gets the ball, there's at least 2 defenders covering her.
Bailey Brewster ready to check in for the 3rd time today.
Brewster, an athlete who Coach Robbie Church also stressed could very well start for us. Obviously our lineup very deep, but a freshman with a bright future.
The careless there from Cosme, and it's turned over. Cowart on the ball for the Huskies. Bodie. Cooper ahead to Pluck, who's in a foot race. Mackenzie Pluck. Second he diagnosed the situation and came well off her line and out of her box. Big time collision as Pluck stays down behind the play. As always, Mackenzie Pluck willing to sacrifice the body. Looks like we'll take the opportunity here to have our mandatory water break. 27:04 to play in half number 2. 1-0 Blue Devils. Michelle Cooper in the book once again. Second straight game with a goal to start her collegiate career. Rejoining live action now as Ruthie Jones dives on top of it with less than 27 minutes to play. Blue Devils leading Washington 1-0. Alongside Allison Gaskins, I'm Ryan Craig. Day 2 of the Carolina Nike Classic. Huskies and Blue Devils. North Carolina and Arkansas. We're on the ACC network at this point, those 4 teams involved. 2 games Thursday, 2 games today. Blue Devils a 3-1 win over Arkansas on Thursday night. Huskies lost to North Carolina 4-1. Emily Royson shifting upfield a bit as Brewster's come on to take her position on the Blue Devil back line. Looks like Royson may have replaced Migley on that left flank. Pluck trying to use her speed once again, and does so to earn the corner kick. Another one of those hidden stats. Drawing the PK yesterday, drawing the corner here. Not yesterday on the PKs, Thursday, but regardless,
The last game.
drew them, yes, previous contest.
Kayla, 6!
No.
Margot, if you're free, Margot, go forward!
Driven service toward Cosme.
Step! Step!
Bodie on the one hop. Back to Delaney Graham. 20 minutes into half number 2. Simmons. There is Royson. We'll have to recalibrate a bit. Playing farther upfield now. Cooper couldn't quite get the footwork correct. Cooper does not give up on the play, though. Nearly wins it back for the Blue Devils. Groff steps in front of Clark.
Get there, 21.
Brewster able to work it to Bodie, and now Groff in the direction of Royson, but over her head.
Good mindset, though. Duke more settled here in the second half, more connected passes, up a goal, able to take a deep breath and kind of settle into their pace of play, but doing a good job at switching the field again, still sending long balls up, playing short, a good variety in their transition game.
It'll stay with the Blue Devils. Duke will host Western Carolina after this on the 26th. That game will be on ACC Network Extra as well. Washington flies back across the country to host Loyola on the 29th with about 6,000 airline miles under their belts. And they're hoping a split of 2 games here on Tobacco Road, although they'll need at least a goal in the next 23 minutes or so if they were to try to get a result against the Blue Devils here at Koskinen Stadium.
Difficult to start off your season against 2 of the top teams in the country and you're away from home, but that also allows for a lot of team building and a lot of team chemistry in the travel, staying in the hotels. As we mentioned, not in school currently, so able to just focus on soccer. A lot of the teams or coaches I've talked to in the past mentioned just the team chemistry being built on the road. So there's always that upside and downside, again, playing in a new type of environment, culture with the weather, and so far away from home. But there is that plus side as well for the Huskies.
Very glass half full way of looking at it. The glass half empty version is 2 top 6 teams on their home fields.
You like to be optimistic sometimes.
Perhaps now is the water break. Maybe that was just an injury situation before. 22 minutes on the clock as both teams head to the sidelines. Chance to grab some water, have a discussion with the coaching staff. Michelle Cooper has been terrific once again today. Seemingly still has the legs under her after putting in the hard yards on Thursday and scores for the second time in as many games to start her career.
So composed, does not play like a rookie. She has transitioned to the collegiate level effortlessly. Carries the ball inside, releases right at the right moment. You see her creating the angle, driving the ball and turning it inside that back corner. Michelle Cooper, though, does a little bit of everything, and she has in this matchup as well.
Just impressed by the composure there on the finish. Able to beat a very good goalkeeper in Olivia Sekeny.
The ability, though, to finish as well as she does with her speed and with her composure, very unique and something that Duke will definitely be looking to capitalize on her 4 years here.
Cooper has 2 of Duke's 5 shots on goal. Mackenzie Pluck with a pair. Caitlin Cosme with 1 as well. Total shots 11-6 at this point.
Yes, for 7.
Well, she's going to be a difficult one, Ryan, to shut down for Washington, they've done a good job maintaining their strength defensively, their communication. They have really good positioning, again, throwing Duke offsides multiple times in this matchup. But to shut down a player like Michelle Cooper, it comes to your positioning and reading off-ball movement. So getting into help position, sliding over when you need a double team, and elevating that level of fitness to be able to keep up with her. Really difficult, to get behind Michelle Cooper when she already has the ball and she is running full speed ahead. But positioning yourself, if you don't have the same speed to match her, is what it comes down to.
So 22 even to play. Maggie Graham at the scores table, likely to check in here in a moment or two. Weinert couldn't control it off the throw-in. It'll be Groff to toss it in. Pluck on the receiving end. Really good start to the season for Mackenzie Pluck.
Pluck has just been such a fun athlete to watch the last 2 games.
A goal and an assist. And then again, that created penalty shot that won't go down as an assist, but certainly deserves to be recorded somewhere. Either scored or created 3 of Duke's 4 goals on the season, and Brewster does well to hold off a hard charging Yates as Jones comes way out to make the play. Nice job there by the freshman not to do too much and draw the penalty.
Definitely has a high soccer IQ in her positioning defensively, but also in how she works in the transition game and how she can connect upfield.
Vander Yacht poked it away from Pluck. On comes Maggie Graham, off comes Sydney Simmons. Watkins and McGuire also back for Duke as Pluck and Cooper will take a seat.
A minute of rest for Pluck and Cooper. Fresh legs for Duke.
I think that's the first time that Cooper has come off in the game. Says a lot about an attacking player
70
under these
minutes.
conditions, yeah. Especially second game in 4 days. To start the season when you probably don't really have the type of conditioning you might expect to have a month from now. Goes to show the amount of work she put in even before arriving on campus. This one played across. Jones is there. Huskies continuing to hang around. Still just one opportunity away from tying this up. Plenty of time. Royson, who has moved up a line, has that one poked away. Bodie, fancy footwork, lays it off to Royson. Tess Bodie getting things started for the Blue Devils. Royson lays it off to McGuire. It ends up on the foot of Graham, who looks toward her sister, but has that one intercepted. The breakout for the Huskies. Michaela Woods.
Duke, though, starting to get better in the build.
Brewster. Graham over to Jones. Here's Bodie once again. Royson. Royson looking to use her speed, cuts it back across, ping-pongs around just a bit. Sekeny able to make the save. McGuire still alive for the Blue Devils. Graham couldn't get the full impact there, and Sekeny gathers it up for the Huskies. Anxious moments for Washington.
Felt like the ball just ping-ponging around inside. Multiple chances off. It looks like the face of Sekeny. And then another chance free ball. Finally scooped up.
Sekeny doing well to position herself. Doing anything necessary to keep this a one-goal game.
No turn. Go on, Katie, out. No turn.
Some good passing in tight spaces there for the Blue Devils. Then the switch of field. Watkins running onto it. McDaniel closing her down. McGuire. Watkins. That one is cleared away as far as Brewster.
Duke doing a much better job at finding open space.
Here's Weinert. Groff challenges her. Weinert, the Oregon State transfer. Somebody that Coach Van Dyke hoping can score some goals for this Husky team this year.
Now, Weinert had 11 goals in the last 2 years that she played at Oregon State.
Lily Nabet checks in, as does Tasha Kravitz. 15 and change to go here in regulation. 1-0 Duke. Woods looked to play it out wide. Didn't have the balance though. Watkins on it for the Blue Devils as Nabet plays it back to Brewster. Groff in the direction of Royson, headed away by Johnston. Bodie is there. Royson closed down nicely by Longo. Cosme running through Weinert to gain possession.
Great handoff.
For Duke, it comes down to closing out the matchup here. Up a goal. Playing keep away, playing smart defense.
Yeah, nothing casual here in the back line. That was given away relatively casually. Weinert has it for the Huskies. The run on the far side being made by Hellstrom. Royson is there. Nice job by Johnston to keep the play alive. Evades the tackle from Groff, sends that one across. Graham is there. Jones all alone with 13.5 to play. Of course, she's in no hurry.
Some time come off the clock. No need to play rushed. But again, just continuing to play smart. Very important here for Duke. And on the other hand, for Washington, picking up the pace of play, putting the pressure on. You have nothing to lose right now. Just get the ball, move forward, create some type of chance.
Delaney Graham. Bodie on the first touch, gives it away. Now all the way back to Sekeny. Four saves in the game for Sekeny, who has 11 now on the weekend. Under 12 to play. Things have slowed down quite a bit here. Over the top toward Watkins. It'll be Sekeny who handles it once again.
Flag up on the near side. Looks like it was an offsides call. Just behind the line.
0-0 down the street in Chapel Hill. Tar Heels and Razorbacks. Near halftime. Less than 11 minutes to play here at Koskinen Stadium. Duke trying to start the season 2-0. And a yellow card will be shown to Mackenzie Weinert. First yellow card for the Huskies today. Katie Groff has one for the Blue Devils. Duke looking for its 30th win in the Carolina Nike Classic all time, as you see just a bit too much. Maybe even the
play on the ground.
Yeah, maybe that last little part might have been the decider for the official on the booking. Drilled off the face of Olivia Vanderjagt. Referee will check on her to make sure she's okay. And Vanderjagt will check off and check out as Hussein comes back on. Haven't called her name a lot. Hussein, 47 minutes in this game.
Washington playing with a higher press. And rightfully so, needing to push the ball forward.
Got to find the equalizer in the last 10 minutes here. Who has the legs left? Final 10 minutes, 2 games in 4 days on a weekend that's been oppressively hot and humid. Hellstrom to throw it in. There's Hussein. Bodie making life difficult for her.
Slowing down the progression.
See if Hellstrom goes with the longer throw this time. She does, in the direction of Hussein once again. Driven toward Jones! And Washington makes it 1-1 with 9 minutes left.
Well, the Huskies have come back to life with 9:03 left in the match.
Really against the run of play, the long throw-in. Nice job by Longo to keep things alive, and it just bounces in the right direction. The finish from beyond the 18-yard box. Summer Yates, the All-American, into a sea of purple jerseys. The star comes up for her team at just the right time. 1-1 here with under 9 to play. The guts shown by Washington as Pluck and Cooper get ready to check back in for the Blue Devils. Second, he clears it away, and we're not done yet here at Koskinen Stadium. Nabet is there. Watkins tees that one up. The bouncer. Second, he couldn't quite handle the rebound. Eventually dives onto it as Bodie was in the neighborhood. McGuire in behind her. Duke nearly the answer within a minute. Yates' first shot of the afternoon, and she makes it count.
She had a really good reaction as well. Yates, a bit surprised that the ball came straight to her feet, adjusted quickly to get off the quality shot.
And got it off quickly too. 4 different Blue Devils in the neighborhood, but the quick release by Yates, perfectly placed. Not even the long reach of Ruthie Jones, who stands at 6 feet, could get to that one.
Blue Devils now needing to play with pace. Able to settle down for what seemed like the majority of the second half. Now needing to pick things up again.
Quick throw-in for the Blue Devils, as Watkins has it inside the 18-yard box. Deflects out of bounds. That was an interesting situation there. It'll be a corner for Duke, so they will get Pluck and Cooper on by going so quickly on the throw-in. They actually couldn't substitute their players on. But it ends up working out for them in the end.
Kai, man mark, Kai.
Two substitutions. Number 18, Michelle Cooper in the game for
Claudia!
Short corner.
Claudia, stinker!
Referee will make them do it again as personnel hadn't quite been situated for both sides. Duke's got a 2-on-1 here. See if Bodie goes, and she does, toward the penalty area. It sits down for Chico, who has that one blocked away. Another shot for Chico that's blocked. Cooper. Cosme still in the mix. Cleared away by Clark, and Duke forced to retrieve. Here's Pluck. Laid off to Bodie. A bit too far away on that touch. Riesling blasts it across the midfield line.
Go on.
5.5 to play.
Now tight. Guys, go in there.
Royson back on that back line now for Duke. Graham finds Royson. Bodie to Cooper. Now Pluck. Both players go down. Referee says play on. Chico is on it for the Blue Devils. And it'll be a corner kick for Duke. The return of Cooper and Pluck has certainly reignited this Duke offense. See if Duke elects to go short on the corner here. Less than 5 to play, they do. A lot of space. If I'm the Huskies, I'd probably have another defender over there. Bodie sends it all the way across. Brewster is there.
Nice follow-up by Brewster. keep the momentum moving forward.
Lefty service drifts in towards Sekeny. Nobody making the run for Duke. 4.5 to play. Pluck has shown the ability to beat people one-on-one. If she gets past that defender, it's 20 yards till the next purple jersey. Worked out in the end for the Huskies, though. That drop kick, however, ends up on the foot of Delaney Graham, who looks toward Pluck. Mackenzie Pluck! That one parried away by Sekeny. Another corner. And now the fresh legs of Cooper and Pluck, who had been sitting for a while. See what the Husky defense can do to stop 18 and 24. That combination has been potent today. Nobody short for the Blue Devils this time. Bodie sends it toward the penalty spot. Riesling, the first contact. Referee says that a foul was committed by Mackenzie Pluck. Gotta think Washington will take its time with this free kick, absorbing a lot of pressure. There's Summer Yates. Coach Van Dyke thinks she's one of the best players in the country, and a timely goal here at Koskinen Stadium keeps the possibility of a result alive for Washington.
Since that goal, it's been possession Duke.
Delaney Graham frustrated because the ball was still rolling when she struck it.
Hold your line! Hold your line!
This is one of those situational moments you also practice for in the preseason. Tied with just a couple minutes left on the clock.
Cooper lays it in behind. Pluck is there. Sekeny is as well. Mackenzie Pluck, open net. 2-1 Duke.
The follow through from Mackenzie Pluck. So much power in how she challenges the ball.
Instant offense off the bench. Duke concedes. In comes Cooper and Pluck, and since that moment, Duke has been dominant. Pluck fights through Sekeny, who came off her line, buries it in the empty goal. Mackenzie Pluck, her red-hot start to the season continues. She and Cooper, a menacing duo. And the Blue Devils lead by a goal. They find the answer here in regulation. 2:20 to play. Huskies, perhaps a couple of chances at it.
Duke, however, cannot get comfortable in these last 2 minutes.
What an emotional roller coaster the last few minutes have been, particularly, I would think, for the Huskies. You've done everything right. You've made the comeback. And then just that quickly, it looks as though you may take a loss in Durham. Cooper fighting with Johnston. She keeps it alive with $1:40 to play. She and Chico back and forth. A throw-in for Washington.
Well, something, Ryan, that Washington does pride itself on, the head coach, Nicole Van Dyke, stressed to us in our call with her earlier this week, just that they can go and compete with everyone. They can remain present in every game, regardless of who they're going up against. And I think we saw that out here with the equalizer from Yates, that they didn't give up belief, but they continued to press and stayed in this matchup.
Graham continuing to press. Delaney Graham. Now Mackenzie Pluck has it. 1:05 to go. Bodie and the Blue Devils content to run some time. Chico and Bodie. The bet wins it back. Sane plays it forward, but into the crowd.
Hey, all you have is 35 seconds. Work as hard as you can. That's how we do it. Here we go. That's how we do it.
Good, Mackenzie. Let's go.
Let's play. Let's play.
2 goals just about 7 minutes apart. Yates, the equalizer. Pluck, potentially the game winner, and it looks like it will be with the final 7 seconds ticking off the clock. A 2-1 win for the Blue Devils. Not without some anxious moments for head coach Robbie Church here at Koskinen Stadium.
And for Coach Church, seeing the response from especially Cooper and Pluck, getting to go to the bench, regroup, but having to come back out there, rejoin the game, and keep that game mindset. He sees the response that his athletes are capable of coming back and taking this game.
Soon as Cooper and Pluck came back on the field, it was tilted all Blue Devils. They both score 18 and 24. And Duke has a 2-0 start to the season. 2 wins here as part of the Carolina Nike Classic. Arkansas and Washington, the defeated. For Allison Gaskins and the rest of our production crew, I'm Ryan Craig. To watch this game on replay, go to watchespn.com or download the ESPN app. 2-1 Duke on ACC Network Extra.